we will thrive.
I'm so happy to be here with Dr. Tanya Gilbert. She's absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to jump right into it. My first question for you is, I would like you to tell us about you and your background and what drew you into the field of mental health and therapy and life coaching to begin with.
Well, we don't have enough time for all of it, so I'll just give you a brief summary. I have a doctorate in clinical psychology, so currently I'm in private practice, and I also work with a psychology group, Conscious Connections. I'm a pre-licensed clinical psychologist, and I'm a transformational life coach. So I provide services to individuals wherever they are on their journey. Mm-hmm. If they're needing to work on some things that are more deep-seated from when they were growing up and things like that that have really affected their lives and could be severe mental illnesses, I work with that, as well as I do transformational life coaching. So with that, whatever it is, relationships, just COVID, you're feeling stuck. You don't know what to do. So I'm that person you could come to and talk it out.
Absolutely. I've heard about you. I know how great you are. Speaking of COVID-19, when this pandemic hit, you immediately launched a daily check-in and chat free of charge to anyone around the world over the internet on Zoom. And that was amazing. I want to know what compelled you to do that and what has been the response.
Well, what compelled me to do it was I thought about just folks being shut in. The work that I do, I run into people being shut in all the time. I run into people that have no friends, no family, and working outside is their entire world. So when you say lockdown, social distancing, that meant social isolation for those people, and they had no one. So I felt that someone needed to be available for them. So I launched that program. And the outcome, I've spoken with hundreds and hundreds of people throughout the 6 weeks. I did it every single day for 1 hour every day. And it was so amazing when I slowed down a bit. I was able to, a kid from Ireland reached out to me. In Ireland, it was a high school kid from Ireland, and he was in the house alone every single day. And so we chatted every day. Even when I was done, we chatted on the phone. So it reassured me that I had did the right thing, and I continue to do the right thing.
That's amazing. You made the right decision. You're helping individuals everywhere. Yes, that's wonderful.
This is everywhere.
Yeah, it is. In fact, what would you say are some of the most impactful, impacts on mental health, specifically, that COVID-19 is having on one's psyche and mental health?
Well, it's twofold because you have folks that's dealing with mental illness already. Okay. And so this increased it because they feel like they're isolated from their care providers. They're not used to doing video therapy with the psychiatrist or the therapist, and their therapist that's not used to doing virtual therapy. So it caused an interruption on that level. And then you have folks that domestic violence, which is another pandemic. And this fed into that. It made them become even more isolated. So you have your diagnosed and your undiagnosed, you have your domestic violence, you have your family violence, and so child abuse, everything. So this really has had a horrific impact just worldwide. And our work has just begun in mental health. Because also you have the communities, like communities of color, that don't have health care or funding or even some of the awareness of services that are available. This was really important to me to work as a pre-licensed clinical psychologist as well as a transformational life coach, because I can meet people wherever they are in their journey.
Mm-hmm. What is between a therapist and a coach?
Well, when I work as a therapist, as a clinical therapist, I'm dealing with things that are probably personality disorders, psychotic disorders, severe anxiety, depression, chemical imbalances, just a whole gamut. I could just go on and on. as the coach, as the life coach, just sports teams are not the only ones that need cheering on, everybody needs a coach, So you don't have to be sick to see a coach.
Okay.
The coach just help you get from where you are right now to where it is that you may want to go. That could be in your personal life. That could be in your career. That could be in your relationship. It could be in your children. But I help take you from where you're sitting to wherever it is you want to land.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, that leads me to my last question, and that is, what practical steps and advice would you give individuals who might feel stuck and who have to embrace their new normal and they are really afraid? How can they prepare for their new normal?
Well, we were talking about the new normal, and I smile and I laugh when I say that, because when I first started, I said, okay, we have to get ready for the new normal. But now it's not really a new normal. When I really sat and embraced it a little longer, every day we wake up is a new normal. Every day is a new normal. Okay, we do not get to go backwards in the day before. We can take some things with us, and that's what I encourage people to do now. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you have, the resources that you have available, pick them up, review them, take them with you, because there's only one thing in life that's consistent, and that's change. And when change occurs, it's about change, it's about acceptance, and it's about adapting to whatever that change is. Wow. And so that's the new normal. It's a new normal every day.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here with us. This has been fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, well, they're saying I can ask another question. I thought they were telling me to wrap it up. Sorry, Katya. I got my signals crossed. All right. Well, we have another question. That is, okay, as you talk about, new normal and accepting change, I want you to talk a little bit more about how change is the only constant and how do you master change? I believe last year you had a series called Mastering Change. Talk to us a little bit about that, because we always have to face change, right? But now it feels like there was change in every single area of our lives and the whole world experienced the same change at the same time. But this is not a new thing.
You have to master change. Change is simple.
Okay.
It's just, you just don't resist it. It's simple. If you do not resist it, then you go with the flow and change, because change is going to happen with your participation or not. So if you resist it, then it's going to be difficult and you're going to have all kind of things, but it's still going to happen. But if you go with change, oh man, you'd be surprised how many new things that will occur in your life. You'll be surprised how you can empower yourself, how you can expand on who you are, where you are, and just the growth that's just simply sitting there waiting on you to fertilize that seed. Okay. So change is always happening. That's all from the time we are born in conception to the time we leave here. That's the only thing in our life that's guaranteed is change.
The only constant.
The only constant. You can either accept it and embrace it, or you can resist it, and it's going to happen without your permission.
Is that called resiliency in some way? Is that one?
Resiliency is when there's some other struggles that come up that's unusual in your change. That could come from illness or death or losing like this. Yeah. And, it's going to take some people to have resiliency to get through this. Okay. But resiliency is just that extra thing that you use to say, I won't quit.
Okay. And we need some of that, right?
Resiliency won't let you quit. Resiliency is not, I can't. Resiliency says how. Resiliency don't ask why. Okay. Resiliency asks what? Okay. What am I supposed to do with this?
So this is where we all are right now. Exactly. This has happened. It doesn't necessarily help to ask why, but we can say, what can we do? How do we move forward? And if we need a coach or a therapist, we can reach out and get help, right?
Yes, you can.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to mention that with all of this worldwide, anywhere that anyone is, they can get help if they just pick up the phone and dial 211. 211 is national and international.
Right.
There'll be someone there you can ask the question and they'll give you the resource if you don't know the 800 numbers. Okay. But you can also go to my website, is at drtanyagilbert.com, and I have the 211. I have all of the hotlines on my website.
Suicide prevention,
domestic violence. I have everything there for you.
Thank you, Dr. Tanya. Thank you so much.